What is up, ladies and gents? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, coming to you with another installment of Running the Gauntlet, a show where pop culture meets jiu-jitsu. I'm very excited to have you guys rejoining us. Now, I know we had to take a little bit of a hiatus. You boys had jobs. That's good business. That's good for all of us. It's just, you know, when you're busy, you don't get to do this show. I've done other shows with friends. You may see me doing the bullpen with our friends Jake Watson and Tim Freeman. That's a lot of fun. We'll do that tomorrow. But for today, we return to where you guys will see some prompts, and it's a little bit looser than that. We have some rules here. We have some guidelines, and we have a friend who's joining us, but we'll get to him in a second. But before we do, yo, check this out. Do you guys got this merch? Do you got this Grappling Hour merch? See this right here? Yo, the only way that you will be safe in the Kendrick Lamar and Drake feud is by wearing one of these. Now, listen, I can't prove that, but I can tell you that here in Los Angeles, it's kind of like wearing the right gang color so that people know not to mess with you. Now, I can't promise you that, but I can tell you it's very statistically unlikely you will be shot. I realized that earlier today. There were shots, but that happened in Canada, so it's very different. They don't have as much crime. We have a lot of crime here in LA. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is buy the t-shirt, go to rafasparza.com or grapplinghour.com, but rafasparza.com/merch will get you there a little bit faster. T-shirts, $25. Hoodies, in case you want to stay nice and warm, they are $45. And if you buy the combo together, it's a savings of $10. You get it for $60. So go do that. Support me, support the show. You can also like, comment, and subscribe to the show right now. And if for any reason you have not done any of those things, fix it. And if you don't know what you want to comment on, by the end of this video, I will give you a prompt. I promise you, because our guest is definitely going to say some nonsense. I can almost guarantee you that the more I think about it. We'll get to him in a second. Last couple of reminders. You can do that. You can also join our Patreon. You can see my interviews 30 days before anybody else. And we have some good interviews coming up next, including an interview with Liz Mitrovic. She told me that everybody was saying her name wrong, and I think that's as close as I can get to it. You may notice the little shuck into it. I think that's how you get the right pronunciation. So Liz was on. She's an ADCC trials winner. She'll be competing at the big dance this August. So very happy for her, and I think you guys will enjoy that one as well. And you can also see, for a few extra dollars more, extra bonus content where people roast my competition footage. Yeah. People who are way more qualified than me will roast my competition footage, and they'll see a lot of extra fun bonus material, like extra bonus episodes. And we're going to start doing some ADCC profiles on the specific games of our friends who are competing there. Last but not least, join our Discord. All right, let's get to our guest. What do I say about him? Well, you know, I had a certain kind of joke that I was going to do about him. And then he showed up with no shirt to this venture of our show. And it made me think, like, am I supposed to make fun of him here? Am I supposed to let him off the hook? But, like, I guess the first thing I'm going to say to you, Musab Raza, why do you not have a shirt on for the premiere, for your first time on this show?
Brother, I can answer that question very, very simply, okay? I was wearing a shirt right before you texted me, and I got on there and I looked at myself and I was like, the world needs to see how much of a douche and an asshole I really am. So I feel like they don't enough.
Is it just that it's Texas hot is what's happening there? Like, you were just like, oh, God, people don't understand. Texas is so hot. I have to, oh, no, this just happened. Are you hanging around Nicky Rod too much? What's happening here?
No, it's not that it's Texas hot. It's just that I'm hot. So, like,
No,
people need to see that.
No.
You will let me speak.
You can say whatever you want. It's ducking under
No,
my
actually.
nose. You know what? Hold on. Mute. Let's see that happen now. So I guess now that I have the floor, we should get to know each other better. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, okay. So Musab Raza, purple belt at B team. Been training for.
And that's what you get. Hold on. Just so you know, I put you on mute because you told me I couldn't. And you know what?
Fuck.
The haters told me I couldn't do it, and I did it. So yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself now. I promise I won't put you on mute, even though I'm holding my hand on the button right now. So go for it.
My name is Musab Raza. I was just as fast as possible. Yeah, but my name is Musab Raza. Training at purple belt at B team. Been training for 7 years or so. Been in the competition game for a minute, and that's really about it. I'm just the dude. If you ever watch the YouTube videos, I'm the dude that they usually make fun of. And then one time somebody commented, "Oh, he looks like an Indian Brad Pitt with Down syndrome," and I was like, "Ah, that,
Oh God.
this is it.
You
This is my
know,
moment."
that's how many variations of Brad Pitt there are. They're like, well, we've got the Indian version. Oh, but that's already been taken. So he has a little more specialized version of how he looks. Can I comment on this? Because I know you're a pretty good competitor.
Mm.
But not only is the shirt off, but there's a handful of medals behind you. Now, I have to think to myself, you've probably competed more times than there are medals back there. So, what is happening behind us here, sir?
So, if you notice here, right, this is what you call design when you have not one design creative bone in your body. I was
Okay.
like, I work like an actual job, and then I was like, you know what would be sick, and why would are gonna buy software from me if they see these random gold medals in my background? And then I forgot that I blur my background, so it just looks like shit in here, and I'm like, oh well, this is fucking pointless. God damn it.
The first time I saw it, I was just, my brain staring at this, and I go, you know, like am I imagining that there's like seven medals there? Like,
Oh,
you
fuck you, 7 medals.
well, I mean, how many are there? Tell me.
Like 12?
Okay, okay. I mean, can you count them for me? Because I'm pretty good at counting the jelly beans in the jar, and I don't know how far
I've
I'm off.
I've 1, 2, skip a few, 56, 56 medals counted
I
right
just
there.
want to point this out. The worst part about this whole thing is that I like literally go, no, I'm pretty sure I'm close, and you're like, no, and I go, I want to make sure you know the reason why I said specifically seven is I subscribe to Price is Right rules, which is you always go
Oh
a
god.
little under so that if you go over, you still make it to the next part. You get selected by that crew. So, okay, so you do that. When did you start doing jujitsu, sir?
Um, so I was wrestled when I was in high school for like 3 years. Trained MMA for a bit in Houston, and then started jiu-jitsu at 10th Planet Austin in 2017, I think.
What has been the thing that you have learned the most in doing jujitsu for 7 years?
The thing I've learned the most is that uh, people in this sport sometimes take themselves way too seriously than they actually can. That's the one thing I've like. I always came to this sport even after wrestling and everything like that. Like, and being in MMA, I was always like MMA was the scariest thing because those guys are trying to kill you. Then jujitsu, my favorite thing is people are like, "I'm going to war." I'm like, brother, we are three we are 3 articles of clothing away from being in gay porn. This is not war. What are you talking about? So that's the number thing I learned. That end, uh, I'm just really, really, really annoying to a lot of people in Denver demographics.
I mean, listen, dude, if you cross all quadrants, you might be what most people in entertainment will refer to as a negative quadrant. Like, you might be the person that's like, hey, we're going to release this new movie called The Marvels. And they're like, that doesn't sound like it's going to make any movie money. Like, I think we're going to lose money on that, aren't we? And they're like, well, let's find. Oh, shit, we're out 270 million. Who
Good
can?
God, did you actually watch that movie?
I did. I did. And
Did you like it?
you know what? It's not as bad as I think people put it to be. Here's my thing with this. I think people hate the principal actors more than the nonsense in it because if the tone matches the right kind of nonsense, if you really think about it, the best Marvel movies have to have some kind of joking nature to them so that they can kind of go into that realm. At its peak, I think the funniest movie is Thor Ragnarok. I think
Oh yeah,
the
easily.
jokes work, the movie works, it's silly, it's fun. It's at the top of my Marvel list just because I'm like, oh, thank God, something that's light. But
Mm,
then Thor 4, Love and Thunder, it goes too far, and you go,
yeah,
ah, shit, now we got it the other way. I feel like the Marvels is right in between that where you go, oh, the movie's very, like, the plot's kind of, but at
yeah.
least they're not trying to tell you, like, it's the end of the world. And in this world, if Miss Marvel doesn't make points about sexism, then we won't be able to save this world. Like, at least in this one, it's like, all right, you get three characters. They're kind of different. Okay. But was it a great movie? Probably not. But have I
They're just
seen worse?
not,
Yes.
they're just not fleshed out at all. And I just watch them. I'm like, I don't give a shit if she dies, which is a terrible thing to say about some person. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if she dies. If she dies, it changes nothing for me. Like whatever,
I
it's fine.
generally think that Brie Larson is actually a very good actress. You know,
Oh,
in
she's
Room,
great.
she's amazing. But they've relegated her to making like these weird upshots that they do, where it's just her being like,
Yeah,
I go,
dude.
what is like, why is that shot in every single reaction shot to her?
Weird POV, like she's 6'4", and I'm supposed to be like, "Mommy, is that you?" Like, I don't. What am I supposed to feel in that situation? I don't know.
But I mean, the interplay was nice, and I just thought, like, yeah, there have been worse. I think it was shorter, and I think that to me was also like a plus because I go, oh, it's under 2. Oh, okay. I think I'm here for that. So, like I said, I felt worse, but I do know people feel a certain way about it, and sure, whatever. Here's what I'm going to ask you, sir. You're looking at this board right now, and this is your first time doing, I'm sure, a show like this because they don't really exist in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But are there any of these that make you nervous? Because you seem like a pretty confident guy. You seem like you're pretty jokey and you don't take yourself seriously. At least if you did, that'd make you a hypocrite from what you said you hated the most about jiu-jitsu people. But are there any of these words that give you pause? Because you only know one of them.
Shut up. I feel like shut up might get me into trouble somehow. I don't know how.
we'll,
I know
we'll,
it is.
we'll see. I can't tell you exactly what those things say or mean just yet, but we're about to make our way into this world. So, sir, I always let the guests start off. You know the rules, which are as soon as we pick one of these, you will have 60 seconds to respond after I finish reading the prompt. So whatever's remaining of that time, that is your time to respond. Where do you want to start off today, sir?
Shout out Tom Brady. Let's go deflate.
Deflate it is. This weekend, Tom Brady was roasted on a live Netflix special. Pick one person in jiu-jitsu that you would like to roast and pick the dais. Bonus points if you can give us one example joke for said occasion.
Okay, one person I would choose. Oh God. It's got to be Gordon. It has to be no. It has to be Andrew Wiltsey. Okay, and the people that I would ask to roast him would be has to be Craig Jones for sure. Has to be Giancarlo Badoni. I just never heard that man speak, and I just feel like he's just gonna spit lizard terms. Big Dan because I know that man is not gonna have any jokes whatsoever. Um, and Nicky Rod because I feel like Nicky Rod is gonna be like, you're hurt, dude. Don't feel any pain. Like you're clearly a pussy. And I just want to hear him say that to Andrew Wiltsey so bad.
Fair enough. Good pick on that one. Can I ask this though? You were sitting there, you were weighing between different options. Was there somebody else you potentially had in mind on that one?
I had Nicholas Marigali on my mind as well, just because I know that it would be like a little delay for him to like get the jokes was what's flying at his head. He'd be like, okay, hold on. Let me just translate this. Okay, now I understand what I'm supposed to say. I just want to see that little delay in him.
There was something that I was thinking about when I was watching the roast. So I didn't know it's 3 hours. So while putting the show together, I had it on in the background. Shout out Nikki Glazer. Mwah. So far, what I've seen, hers and her timing, and she got to the point where she got a standing ovation, but she also the rhythm of what she was constructing. I was like, yo, that's clean. Even if that joke didn't land, it lands because
Yeah.
she landed it. So she's a beast. But I would say this. The one thing I did realize was when you saw Tom Brady get up and was like, yo, we don't do that to Mr. Kraft. And you go, that's not how this works, dude. I know that
Dude.
you're rich, but you're coming up to Jeff Ross, the roast master general, and saying like, hey man, don't say that shit again. I was like, I don't know if you know this about roasts. Once you say the joke, we don't repeat the same one just to be like, hey, here we go. Like you might do a callback, but
Yeah.
Jeff Ross doesn't need that pandering to just keep going back. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jeff Ross is like, dude, I got 15 others. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that one.
I can talk about jerking off in multiple different languages. What are you talking about?
Did you happen to see the roast?
I saw clips of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. I want to sit down and watch it. But I saw Tony Hinchcliffe's whole set. And my favorite, well, actually, my favorite part was Edelman making the. He's like, everybody asks about how big Gronk's dick is. it's pretty big, but he's not. That's not the only tight end that's hung. And I was like, God damn, brother, we're talking about Hernandez. This is great,
It's
great
a
TV.
great joke. And like, dude, even like, what did I think of when Nikki Glazer? Because I haven't gotten to Tony's yet, and I want to save his. I've heard good things. I want to
Oh,
save his to watch it without the clips. I want to see the whole performance. But a lot of my homies were like, "Yo, you got to see it," and I was like, "Cool, I've just made it to Nikki." But even the throwaway from Nikki, where she's like, "Please allow me to keep this Kevin Hart," and I was like, "Fuck, even your throwaway transition's good." Damn, good work there, everybody. So yeah, way better stuff that we can do. I'm gonna pitch you mine. You can tell me what you think of it afterwards, but
all right.
I do think it's an important one to kind of go to. So I'm on the clock now. I'm gonna take the camera off of you, sir, and here we go. Okay, so if we're talking about spending the amount of money or time to actually do a roast for jiu-jitsu and make it that it's actually interesting to you, the viewers, you got to ask yourself, yeah, you could pick Gordon. You could pick Craig, and I mean, that would be fair. Craig's a very fun and interesting guy, does jokes, would probably be doing a whole bunch of fake Australian laughs throughout the entire thing. But I tell you this, why would you do them when the opportunity is right in front of your face and you could do John Danaher? You get him on the
Oh,
panel, you go, and you get all the dais to be B team members. Then I would host it. I would 100% be happy to be the host for the John Danaher roast. And the best part is you can do cutaways of commercials and pre-tapes of doing John Danaher instructional videos that take too long. And now we know that Netflix takes 3 hours to do them. That's John Danaher. That's like one video of his. So I'm just saying, don't pass that up. Thoughts?
that's genius, dude.
So
Oh my God, that's good.
the
That's
one
such a good
thing that I
idea.
was thinking about it is that you would see Gordon try to come up and be like the Tom Brady, like, don't say that shit ever again. Don't let me hear that again on John. Don't speak that out of your mouth. And to me, I'd be like, oh no, that's good TV. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And you were just talking about Marigali. I think what you're missing with him, aside from the delay, is that if you did a roast for him, the closing would be him being like, but guys, I'm God.
Yeah. Oh my
No matter,
God. But that's.
you
Uh,
know, I just want to point that out. You're like, dude, the joke's not there. Just when somebody in the comment section was like, did you just call yourself God? And I was like, Nicholas Marigali, I know what you're doing, my friend. But like some of these are a little rough. Maybe get someone to spell check these. If you're typing from Gordon's computer, maybe get Grammarly. It can help you build these things a little bit better. But the only thing that did it was like, dude, promote it all you want. Do whatever you
yeah.
want. But if I'm looking for a closer, John Danaher getting up there and getting the opportunity to roast people in the slowest way possible and being like, and of course, Gary Tonin is here. Of course, he wasn't there in his title fight at
Oh
ONE
God.
FC. Burn. Moving down, Mr. Gordon Ryan, of course, is here, but we did put a toilet on his seat so that it can move at any given time so should tummy issues arise. Like, if you think about the delivery that John does, it would be the driest. And I know that he has done jokes about the guys in the past, even in the room. I say, make my money off of that and put that on the TV.
I like the idea, but you know what else I would add to it? Instead
Mm.
of just the B team guys, I don't think I would make it the former DDS guys. I would make it like the new age B team guys who hate John Danaher and have no idea why and just only know the rumors. And so they're just gonna be up there saying crazy shit. You're like, what the fuck
The
are you guys
biggest
talking
conspiracy theories. It's like,
about?
well, let's get into cucking, shall we? And you go, wait, have we fact checked this? There's no journalist in jiu-jitsu. If I'm the best journalist going, we don't have journalists in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
So
bro.
just to be very clear on that.
I
Well,
think
there
that would be better.
there is that. Although, you know what? If I don't host and you want star power, you let Craig host it. So you can do
You
that. I'll
can't let
let
Craig.
Craig.
You cannot let Craig host anything because he'll just take over.
You know what though?
He'll be like, it's
That's
not
what
my show.
the only thing is I would, if I had to acquiesce for star power,
Mm.
because Craig obviously a bigger star than I am, not funnier. I have more range. What I would do is I would be the voice in his ear producing it outside of it. And there would be me being like, if we go over, you have to pay. And he'd be like, all right, coming up next, this person. All right, over it. And gets off. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I
100%.
could make it work.
100%. Or he's like, it's okay. I have a Dubai backer. I'm gonna buy this whole goddamn thing.
Yeah,
It's
no
like, fuck.
shit. Hey, listen,
Damn it.
my favorite thing with Craig is always like, we refer to him as Bugs Bunny. I just say he literally looks around most of the time. And it's not even like he has the best joke. He just looks at the absurdity and the stupidity of most of the people in jiu-jitsu and goes, you believe this shit? And does that. And I go, yeah, he's Bugs Bunny, dude. You can't hurt him. Literally,
No,
Gordon
dude,
just looks like Daffy Duck. And you go, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, you're better at jiu-jitsu, but like this is where the comedy's at. Let's do this. So
100%.
I'll have to talk to my friends in TV to see if we can sell that. So in the future. Just letting you guys know. I'll be working toward that. All right, so where are we going next?
Okay, let's do Schmet.
Met. Okay.
Met, yeah.
Here we go. Your prompt for Met. Yesterday was the Met Gala. As an occasional model in jiu-jitsu, please describe the drip that you would wear if there was a BJJ version of the Met Ball.
BJJ version of the Met Ball? Oh, dude. Okay, first of all, I'm rocking chains, okay? Not only am I rocking chains, I'm wearing my mouth guard grill, which I don't have in right now, but it's a fucking grill with the mouth guard, okay? Secondly, I'm wearing a gi. Fuck a rash guard. I'm wearing a gi. It's gonna have fucking like diamonds going down the sides, right? It's gonna have a hole in the back so you can see my sick ass lats. All right, and then obviously wearing gi pants. Gi pants are gonna look like something out of a fucking Mace music video with like fucking shining gold for some reason. And to like cap it all off, my hands are gonna be covered in tape, like wrapped around tape, but it's gonna be like gold tape, and that's what I'm gonna rock.
Well done. So you know what? I can 100% see that vision for you, because as you're describing it, I was like, the thought of you looking at a rough draft or the first version of the gi and then going like, no, sparklier. More jewels. You gotta bring that up. Bring me all of the rhinestones you have in this place. Let's make sure this shit is encrusted. I want to be shiny. So maybe I should just go, because I didn't think this one through. The weird part about this is I just try, when I come up with the prompts, to just have the structure, but I don't cheat and write out my answers. I literally try to be as in the moment as you. My only thing is I kind of know the direction. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. So I'm going to give you mine rather than talk out part of yours right now. All right, here's what I think we would do if I were attending a Met version of jiu-jitsu. I think first and foremost, we heard from our good friend here where he's saying, you know what? I think I'm going to go with a gi. I'm going to change things up. Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm going to go no gi. And what I mean by no gi is I'm going to go the ADCC style, no rash guard. So I'm going to show up, right? But invisible lining. Guess what? I was wearing a gi the whole time. So that all you see is just kind of the stripes down. That is that kind of collar part of it. And people are like, oh, ref, I see you came ADCC style. No, actually, take a look at this. They're like, oh my God, is that a see-through fucking gi? And I was like, right. That's right, bitches. Then he was talking about gi pants. I'm talking Sambo, dude. I'm making a statement with wrestling shoes. And guess what? You do a switch. When you get in there, you put on the headgear because you go, that's the formal part of it. So you have to have two different swap outs. The premier walkout and the inside the ball.
Brother. Big brain move right there. Oh my God. I was like, yo, that is fucking genius, dude. You thought I came in ADCC? I'm actually IBJJF, bitch. What's up?
Because I realized for you, I was like, listen, if I'm going to have anybody who sees my vision, it's the dude not wearing a shirt who's like, I wish I could show off what I have been lifting, but I have to do gi, and it's sending me. I'm thinking you get the best of both worlds where people are like, yo, man, you've been working out late. Oh, my God. Can I collar choke you now? Oh, but look at this. And so you get the dude version of the girls like losing their shit and be like, did you see this? Oh, my God. Did you see that it was also this?
there's so it's like breaking out a Kendrick verse. You're like, there's so many layers to this. He's wearing a he's putting out so much different things.
I have to say
Yeah.
this as a resident old person. I did not believe I was going to get this invested in the Kendrick and the Drake
Oh,
beef.
dude.
But then, because I just knew, I was like, oh, well, Kendrick's going to waste him. Like, you have the Taylor Swift of rap versus one of the best lyricists we've got. So I was like, okay, this should go how I think it is. And the Drake stands were coming in, and I just thought, I was like, dude, I'm too old. I'm not going to understand all these references. And I looked down, and I was like, dude, I have the surface level of way more than I think I do. And I even have one or two layers of some of these. But then when other these people are going like, hey, you know that part in Not Like Us, when he mentions how many do I have left in the chamber? Like, how many do I have left in the stock? And he goes, I don't know. And he counts out. How many does he count? And I was like, well, he counts 10 are in the stock. Oh my God, stock. Oh God, fuck him. No, no, you bitch.
Oh,
Like, he had referenced John Stockton earlier in the fucking rap. And then he's like, how many more do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it gets to 10. And I go,
yeah.
oh my God. So yeah, I was done. I was done.
Oh. See, I hate this because I've been listening to that song on repeat for the last 2 days, and now I'm like, oh, there's another aspect. I'm like, he's just King Kunta, bro, King Kendrick. Oh my god, I'm
it's
having a fucking anxiety attack.
to me, I think it is a race to see who gets to walk out of that first because I don't really compete that much. So I don't get a walkout. I think I'm negative ratings for a super fight. So I'm like, nah, that ain't going to be my thing. Like, announcers and commentators don't get walkout music, but they should. But now I'm like trying to put it out there and I'm like, y'all, somebody needs to walk out to that and be the first and make that their song because that is the quickest way I'll know as an opponent. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm in for shit. This dude's not gonna stop.
dude, if I had the chance to have a walkout last weekend for my grudge match, I would have done that song. Easy.
It's tough, dude. I've been doing shows where, well, the Subversive we let people do it because we were under license, so we could do it. For PGF, we were like, please enjoy this royalty free music and walk out and just own it. And people were like, I want to walk out to this. If I could walk, and people in the comments are like, I think I'd have a better match. Actually, no, it was Jamie Carnall who said, I love Cardi B. If I could walk out to Cardi B, I think I would have done better in the tournament. And I was like, my brother, if you bought one Cardi B song, there would be no PGF prize money.
Yeah,
Like,
for
that's not how this works.
dude, that shit's
So
not cheap, bro. Like, oh my God. Like, also, but the worst thing is, like, I'd rather just not come out to music rather than royalty free music because they're like,
that's fair.
"Oh, you guys ready to see some violence?" And then smooth jazz is just playing. I'm like, all right, well, let's just walk up to this.
It is a fairly. I mean, listen, dude. I I feel with the athletes. I try not to impose too much of producer wrath on them, but I'm always like, hey guys, I would love for you to walk out to that too. But every so often, somebody will make a reference to something, and they'll be like, "Hey, man, I'd really like this song," and I was like, "I would too. You're just not gonna get it."
Yeah,
So,
it is what it is.
yikes! All right, so where are we going next?
All right, let's go to shut up. Let's go. I'm not. Sometimes I'm gonna say something stupid. Fuck.
I so
'Cause-
wait for the topic. Don't defeat yourself. All right, you wouldn't say like, "Hey, I'm going into this match. I think I'm gonna lose this." Like I didn't play.
That's not true. I do that a lot.
Oh God, no!
I do that a
You
lot.
should.
I do that a lot. I'm like, hopefully I lose this so I can go home. It's so terrible, dude.
You're the first person to be like, "Hey, man, this super fight is actually interrupting my lift time. I want to look good. I just want the aesthetics. I don't really need to win. I just want to look better than this dude." And you know what? I did the walkout, and I did. So, winner, walkout, double ones. All right, here's what we got.
Quick.
Shut up, it is.
Let's go.
This week, a new promotional photo for the Superman movie made its debut on the internet. You have previously dressed up as superheroes in the past. Tell us the nerdiest thing about you.
Okay. All right. The nerdiest thing about me is that I take Halloween very seriously in the sense of you know how people dress up like, oh, I'm gonna dress up something cool, something to show off my muscles. There's girls like, I'm gonna dress something slutty. I'm like, I like this anime character because of this episode, and I really want to dress up like him, and I will make it as accurate as possible and make sure everything fits. I dressed up like Kakashi and Itachi Uchiha from Naruto one time, and I was like, this is not the right color of white. Okay, this is making my hair look gray. I need to be Kakashi hair white, and I didn't want to wear my costume for the Itachi one until I got the Sharingan eyes. That's the worst thing about me, and I'm very, very particular about that. No matter what happens, I have to do it.
So, am I right in saying this? You went as Jason Todd one year, correct?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Okay. So that's how I knew who I was dealing with here. I was like, oh, he lifts weight because he doesn't want us to know what a nerd he is. Oh, mystery solved now. So, how deep does your Batman fandom go?
Brother. Oh my God, what can I say? Okay, you know how people are like, "Oh, I've seen all the Batman movies." I'm like, "Oh, that's light work, bro. Have you seen all the animated movies,
That's true.
motherfucker?" Like, I'm deep into. Do you know who Mark Hamill is, brother? Outside of Star Wars, do you know the greatest voices of the Joker, bro? Like, it goes very, very, very deep, and it's funny because the way met my wife too was I was dressed up as Nightwing, which I thought looked sick, but then I realized I just looked like a pervert because it was just a like a fucking leotard and I wasn't wearing like tight enough underwear, so you just cock and balls and like fucking. I was like onesie. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
The
Yeah,
best part is the commitment to it, where you're like, well, the nuts are going to be out. But you know what? Grayson did this. And if Dick Grayson could do this, man, okay. All right. I have to ask this.
but
What is the best Batman animated movie? Because you bring up a good point, which is there are some underrated people behind the scenes who have made these DC animated films. And arguably, the DC animated slate is better than the Marvel animated slate, and people don't know that. But there's a lot of different versions. They've started combining like the Justice League. So, where is the best Batman
yeah.
presentation in the animated field?
Man, honestly, for me, I know a lot of people are gonna say the Dark Knight, the one where it's old Bruce Wayne and stuff like that. But my favorite has to be between two. It has to be the Red Hood, just because Jensen Ackles is voicing the Red Hood, and it's one of my favorite like ones of all time. Or the Batman Beyond with the Joker makes a return. Um, and that one was fucking phenomenal. Batman Beyond in general is phenomenal, but
True.
that movie was so sick, and I love those are my two favorite ones. I think. There's like a couple other ones. Like there's what's the one with the um. Well, there's a couple. The new ones that came out, the new 52 stuff that came out was like I was like, this is all right, whatever it is. But the old stuff, like with like Red Hood and stuff like that. Oh my god, dude, so dark, so fucked up. Especially when Jason Todd is getting his shit rocked.
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah,
Fucked
yeah.
up.
I enjoyed of the OG animated series. One of my favorites is the Almost Got 'em because I've likened that to my jujitsu, where the moniker for me is I'm hard to submit for civilians. I wouldn't say like, oh, Craig's gonna have a hard time with me. It's like, no, for
Mhm.
regular folk, I can be a problem in that regard. And I would hear people doing stories about being like, hey, there's this one time I almost got Raph. And I was like, are you guys legit all the Batman Rogues gallery playing poker, talking about how you almost got me? And then I remembered, I was like, oh, I am the Batman of jiu-jitsu
Oh.
because I'm just a regular human and all of you guys are on steroids and all of you guys have superpowers. I don't. And I'm jiu-jitsu rich because I have a job. So yeah,
Yeah.
it checks out. Okay. Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu Rich is perfect, dude.
Jiu-Jitsu rich is very different. It's not a real thing. But shout out though, recently they had it was the Justice League, I think, the Apocalypse War
Oh yeah, that
that
was good.
that was a good twist on the
Yeah, yeah.
Batman that we knew because he was under Darkseid's control. And I thought, normally Batman's the kind of calculating guy, and this is one of the few times they had to work against him, and that they didn't have the best strategist with them. And I thought, oh, that's
Mm.
kind of cool. And it's a very straightforward, I'm a bad guy line read, but it was effective. And I was like, oh, there's okay. I kind of respect this. That's good. So that was more of the recent ones. But dude, I still put on whenever I see them on HBO or Max, if you would. I
Mhm.
looked to see, and I saw that they had the most recent Crisis on Two Earths Part One, and I just watched that. It was okay. It was fine.
I was good. Is that the one where? No, that's Flashpoint. I'm thinking of. Is that
It's very
is it?
similar though in how they
Uh,
construct that story because they're like, Flash, you're the only one who can use time travel. We
mm.
think do this. So they do a few things on that. All right, let me answer mine. I
Go.
guess I should probably go with probably the most obvious version of it. All right, shut up. Let's take that off of you and back to me. All right. The most obvious one is always going to be the pro wrestling stuff. And it's mostly because a lot of you guys don't know more than pro wrestling than I do. So that's fine. I accept that. I would tell you guys this, and this is a story I've waited to tell for a little bit, but when I was in, I want to say fourth grade, I got this book about how to start your own detective group, like a youth book that's like, hey, here's how you start like a detective group. And I remember being so into this book that I was like, I got like 5, 6, 10 people together. And I was like, guys, we're going to fucking start solving mysteries. That's what we're going to do. And, you know, what are you going to solve in a grade school? And I got clowned by a couple of my friends. And to the point where when everybody was like, yo, this is stupid, I was like, oh, okay. And they came up to me later and they're like, actually, it was pretty dope. You're pretty smart. Like, that was a really good thing to do. And I want to tell you, if I had had my way, I would have made so much more money because I wouldn't do a podcast about goddamn jiu-jitsu. I'd do a podcast on murder. So I had the right thought. But it took years for me to see the profitability of what people are doing on murder podcasts. So I just realized I might have been a little ahead of the curve on that one.
100%, dude. Are you kidding me? My wife listens to those things, and it's like we're like driving. It's like a nice, like calm day, and she's like, "La di da," and the podcast is like, and then he got stabbed in his penis, and then he was gutted like a fish. I'm like, what the fuck are we listening to, bro?
This is just,
Jesus.
I laugh so profusely hard because I'm always thinking to myself, wait, what? Why are you
Yeah.
listening to this, babe? And she's just like, oh, it's my murder stories. And I go, okay, how am I not even the most popular podcast in my home? Like, this is what I do. So you should at least listen to my. I was like, can you go rate mine? She's like, no, I don't know how. And then meanwhile, I go, false. You did my favorite murder. You gave them 5 stars. What is this? And she goes, well, they do a good show. And I was like, I do a goddamn good show. So anyway, that's more issues I guess I'm going up against here at my house, but there is that.
Never gonna win it. Never gonna win it.
Not going to win that one. All right, you have done half of the board now, sir. So my question to you, you got 3 left here. You did the one that you feared the most, so this should be easy sailing, right? Should be smooth sailing from here.
Don't say that, okay? Now I'm nervous again. Like a fucking the way you said that was a threat, dude.
Listen, dude,
No,
the
you
only
should be.
person who has ever said that was Morph in episode 1 of the original animated X-Men, and everything turned out fine for him. He's fine. He's fine.
Did he die?
He did. So
Yeah.
the best part about the Morph story is they wanted to get us real quick as kids. And they were like, yeah, there are consequences in this. And I go, okay, cool. And then Morph comes in and he's just like, Wolverine, look out. And you go, wait, the dude that can heal? You're going to push that dude out of the way? And I for years, I was the only one holding this grudge. Lo and behold, now that there's an internet where people can talk freely, I have more people who I have found over the years who were like, why did he do that? I'm like, thank you. I thought I was the only one. So he did
I
die-ish. Mr. Sinister found him. Mr. Sinister brought him back to life and then kept him in a lab. And since he's not a pure, like, exact X-Men from the comics, he's kind of a hybrid of a couple different characters. They're like, he's expandable. We wanted to kill somebody. And I think at one point they were thinking about Warpath being the person that they were going to kill. And even in the 90s, they were like, maybe not kill an Indian character in
maybe too early for this right now.
Wait,
Let's wait on it.
this Native American probably should live for a little bit. So, yeah, I think that was kind of the issue then. Anyway, it was the right choice. Morph has been a great character. And the new series, mwah,
Oh, I need to watch the new series, dude.
Oh my God.
Is it good?
It's legitimately, it did not let me down. And I've had my friends who, when I was posting about it, they're like, yo, it's going to be bad. And I was like, it's not. It is better. And it is by far like top tier, one of the best things Marvel has ever done. All MCU.
Really?
Yep. So,
Really?
I say that as a huge X-Men nerd. So All right, sir.
Yeah.
You got 3 left. You're not scared of any of these. I know you aren't. You probably are. But which one are you
I'm
picking?
frightened as shit. Let's do Mighty.
Mighty it is. Demetrius Johnson was finally given his black belt. Tell us one sandbagger who is in desperate need of a promotion.
Dude, honestly, I could have said me a while back, but like, fuck, I got my purple belt, so I guess I can't complain anymore. Fucking dig a sandbagger. I think it has to be Nicky Rod. I mean, he has black belt now, but like, what the fuck was that bullshit where he had a fucking brown belt for like 2 years
Mm.
after getting second place at ADCC twice? I was like, they're like, well, he's still the black belt Slayer. I'm like, that's bullshit. What are these belts? That's how I know this belt shit is not real and people are just making it up as it goes. Because if it's skill based, give that man a red belt. If it's not skill based, then give me a fucking attendance card. Says I should be a motherfucking black belt then. What? Maybe Gracie Baja is up to something, knows something, right? I mean, fucking Jesus. Fuck that guy. Not fuck that guy, but fuck that guy.
I did enjoy that when Nicky Rod was on his come up. You know, you'd have to do that thing where they're like, well, he's not a real black belt yet. And you go,
Yeah.
does that matter? Like, he's competing with them and he's doing very
Yeah.
well. The Slayer, okay, I could see it. I think it's weird. I feel like I always want to have very specific nicknames because there was an era where they'd be like, it's Nicky Rod, the black belt Slayer. And I was like, hey, man, I need him to get him more subs for that.
Yeah.
But like he's you know what I mean? If you're saying like, damn
Yeah.
girl, you slaying, like, yeah, he's slaying like that. So there is that. But I just love the fact that I was like, I want him to murder people, and this dude's gonna murder any one of us that's a regular human being. But now he upped the level in competition, and I gotta tell you, man, I'm enjoying where he's at currently because the proposed match between him and Mason Fowler, I think, is a great test for both of them. I think it works both ways and upsides. So can't wait.
Yeah.
Ready for that to happen next week.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing to ever see was the evolution of Nicky Rod from I think whenever I started B team to like even now, like even when I started B team, he was just kind of like going around to my back and just putting me in a choke, and I was like, well, you're fucking gorilla, so I tapped out. But now it's like, oh fuck, he's going to my legs. Oh fuck, he's putting me in a reverse yoke. Oh fuck, he's putting me in all these fucking crazy submissions that I don't even know how to fucking. It. I think that's the coolest part about his progression. So fast to do that. So
I
it's gonna be
think
cool.
when I started seeing him reverse leg attacks, it was, oh, now we have a new dimension here. Like, okay, cool. Now this isn't the same guy. So, yeah, but you know what happens in competitive jiu-jitsu is you kind of ease into your role. So, like, he was the new guy, and I remember the first time I saw him at trials, I remembered saying on air when we do these fight companions, I was like, oh, look at this dollar store version of The Rock. And I wasn't wrong. But he obviously had wrestling talent, and then you saw what he became, and I was like, yeah, he's got, with the right people, Big J was helping him out. Big J was perfect. He had his time with the DDS, and then going out on his own. I wonder if he's one of those people who, now that he's become a senior representative, has probably learned more in not just the reps he's getting, but now having to teach a whole group of people and like getting those abilities to work with you guys. So that was my hope. And listen, dude, it's really fun to see him do big things. Having said that, I also did see him on WWE Next Gen. And Nikki, if you're watching this, I have made 0 jokes about you about that. So you're welcome.
And I only said compliments. So remember that tomorrow, please. Don't hurt me.
Oh, I'll send this to him. Oh, that's great.
Oh, you fucking bastard.
Hey, listen, he's not going to see me. He doesn't roll with me. I don't have any issues.
Ow.
Anytime I see him, it's always like, oh, hey, man. What's up? What's up, dude? Good to see you. So I'm good. You're the one that's going to die. And listen.
Dude, he literally asked me because I talk a lot during my competition. So he coached me my last weekend. He's like, after I finished up, like I won and I go back to the corner. He's like, hey, do you talk that much usually when you compete? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you should not do that. And I was like, I'll try my best. And I just kept yapping again. And I was like, fuck, I'm so sorry.
I mean, so I can't tell people how to live their lives, but for me personally, you take my ability to have my Deadpool mouth, I'm probably not going to pass your guard. Yeah. But if I can roast you, it's a better opportunity. I'm not going to lie. So it works for different people. Maybe for you, he sees that you have the talent to do it without it. Or maybe he just thinks that the trash you're talking isn't as good as it needs to be. So I don't know which rule it is. It could be one or the other.
If he sees that, then he needs fucking glasses. Then if he needs any without it, Jesus Christ, the fuck.
I
Guy
mean,
had zeros.
you know what? I can't tell people what they do or do not see. It is in the eye of the beholder. Where would you like to go? Oh wait, actually, do I have to do mine on that one? Who should be
Yeah, you
promoted?
do
Yeah,
yours.
let me do mine real quick. So let's get you here. Let's get you off that. Okay, this is interesting because I didn't think these out very well. But if we're speaking off the top of our head, I would tell you this: there's a few people who are brown belts that you kind of stare at and you're like, have we not done the thing yet? And I say this as somebody who's just been an eternal purple belt forever, and I'm good here. I've got a residency as purple. I have a lot of friends who try and say nice things. And they're like, you should be ranked higher. And I was like, I've rolled with higher. I'm good. I'm exactly where I should be. What I would say is, God, who is recently just promoted? We did just get like people like Big Breakfast who have a black belt. That's great. Elisha Dorsey's there. But I think even like Cam Hurd. Is Cam Hurd a purple belt? Because if that's the case, I think maybe we can up him a little bit. Because I've been making jokes with him, and my man's like, yeah, you know, all this. And he's saying all these great things. And I go, after seeing him at the PGF, we are not the same belt. Just being very clear. Also, Cam Hurd.
He's a purple belt.
I think he is a purple belt, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus, really?
Now, if you consider how well he did at ADCC trials, that should be some sort of level up. And he didn't do badly at PGF, honestly. Like, he had fucking rough rolls. But, like, my man made it all the way to the end. He still looked like $1 million, best dressed. Just saying. Shouldn't be a purple belt. Because, let's put it this way. You put me and him next to each other. First of all, you're like, Raph, wow, you should think about steroids. And second, you're probably going to say, like, you're both not purple belts, right? Like, he's the purple belt, and that dude's supposed to be at least brown, black. So, just saying.
Dude, I remember my wife would watch me. I think when Nicky Raw was still a purple belt, or he was a brown belt, she watched me like get destroyed by him in training. She's like, "Babe, like, is he like how many degrees is he above you?" I'm like, "He's only one belt."
I like that she's asking with degrees because I know what she's asking, but in my head, it's like, so how many more Fahrenheits do you have to be a Nicky Rod? Just do we just press the button like 4 times and then it levels out? Yeah, man, it's listen, jiu-jitsu is not a fair thing, so it doesn't always go the way it's supposed to, but I get it. All right, dude, 2 topics left. Where are we going now?
Let's go sacrifice.
Sacrifice it is. Sir, you've said that some of the worst people choose to dedicate their lives to jiu-jitsu. Give them advice on how to improve their lives.
Fucking quit. Quit thinking, quit training 3 times a day, quit training fucking 5 times a day and doing extra cardio and not having a fucking job. Go make some money and then you can do it as a hobby. This sport is not war, brothers. We are just replicating gay porn with 2 pairs of clothing on, okay? There's no reason that if you are just losing at the local level, it's fine to lose at local levels. I lose at local levels. I lose at every level. But I'm not like, you know what? I'm going to quit this. I'm going to live underneath a fucking bridge and I'm going to grapple sweaty dudes for the rest of my life to make my money. Terrible idea unless you're a world-class athlete, which I guarantee you're not. I promise you.
Okay, harsh words. Okay.
I'm just
hear
saying.
what you're saying. So here's the math that I just did. Did 2 sets of math here, actually. The first was somehow it went from we're 3 pieces of clothing away from gay to now just 2 pieces away. And this is being said by the dude without the shirt on. So I feel like you are setting yourself up for failure here. So you have no one to blame but yourself. Number 2, I did this math and it didn't hit me until you really did that speech. And by the way, very motivational. Thank you. But I started realizing, I was like, oh no, he's right about that. But what does that say about the people who cover jiu-jitsu athletes? Like, what am I doing? Like, maybe I need to quit this. The good news is, at the very least, I tend to work on other shows that make actual money. But the fact that you were able to centralize this to be like, hey, what are you doing? Make some real money. You dumb jiu-jitsu athletes. I was like, yeah, get them. Wait, I book them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So I don't know if you figured this, but that was probably your most Kendrick-like bar throughout this entire thing because it had many layers to it. So congratulations, sir.
Honestly, thank you. But second of all, I would say that the jiu-jitsu guys who are successful, if you're going to want to be successful in jiu-jitsu, do it through social media and build a brand, personality, and shit like that. Don't compete to do it. Don't compete and expect to make a lot of fucking money. Like you want to be cool, you want to talk into whatever the fuck. That's how you do it. Like what you're doing, that's how you do it because people are interested in watching. If I'm just going out there, just putting my nuts on a dude's face for like 10 minutes and be like, yeah, dude, you see that $5
Just
medal I
so
got, dog?
hold on. The amount of different ways you are finding to make the comparison yourself. Now I understand beating somebody to the punchline, but nobody here is being like, hey, you're gay. Hey, this kid, super gay. Like you're literally being like, anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I have my nuts on your face, deal with it or don't, whatever. It's gonna be there. But anyway, yeah. Just
Yeah.
I feel like that's stuff you need to work out, sir.
You know what's so sad? I literally made a promo about me being like, "Oh, come see me at this event. I'm gonna put my nuts on some dude's faces." And I was like, I posted it too. I was like, "This was
This
good.
was a
This
bad
is."
choice. Milk was a bad choice. You know what? Give me a second here because I think this will segue perfectly to mine. So let's get me back on this. Here's what I'm gonna say to you guys. That dude said to quit jiu-jitsu and stop doing any kind of promotion for yourself. Well, I have some news for you. Let's reverse that. Stop doing any kind of promotion for yourself because I've seen the videos. You need to enlist actual help, not like just the, therapy kind of help. That will help you though too. But I'm talking about like get someone who actually knows social media to help you guys create at least the version of yourself that's interesting. Because a lot of you guys are like, you know what's really interesting about me? I lift weights. You know what else is really interesting about me? I really like jujitsu. Find the other things. If you're going to use any of your time and the person who helps you, who you hire as your social media guy, will help you to realize, hey, dude, that's not that interesting. Because a lot of what I do when I scroll through is a lot of this. Oh, pass, 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 pass. Boring. Oh, that's a dog. Okay, that one's interesting. So those are the ones that I stop on. Just saying. So
Yeah,
maybe we approach it in two different levels on that one, but maybe something similar. But when you were like, you guys need to give all that you can to doing this, I was like, I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of shit in my time, and
but
they could stand to maybe not do as much.
I like your idea better. You have to realize I said it from a place of a man who was raised by a Middle Eastern man, and he's just like, Stop all the stuff that doesn't make you money, Musab." I'm like, yes, yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir."
So you know what? You're right. You're right. I get that part. I definitely get the culture part of it. I just get for Hispanic folks, for brown folks like us, we just get our parents who roast us.
Yeah.
So I would just get my dad who's like, how's that going? I'll be like, yeah, no, it's going pretty good. He's like, they paying well? Dad, you know that answer. Come on. And he'd be like, why are you doing it? Then I was like, I don't, this stupid sport has a fucking chokehold on me and I do love it and I want it to be good. And he's like, cool. How are the people who have the money? Not really good about it. Arguably bad. Lots of egos. Nah, you're right. Maybe I should go do something else. How's tennis? You know what? My dad, you love golf. I should go. I've got a great golf commentator voice. We can do that. But nope, we instead try to make this one bigger. I guess because we are all dumb. So anyway, I think you had the right approach on that one. Are you ready for this last one, sir?
Yeah,
There's
yeah, I
only
am.
one
But
left on the board. But go ahead.
I could totally hear you saying the word, and right there, that's a par. It's great. All right, moving on. Let's go to
Right
list. Let's
there.
do it.
And it does look like Bubba Watkins is going to come in for a par. He's recently not made any racist statements lately, but there are those around him who have been. Interesting fact. Tune back in to our live coverage of the Masters here at CBS. CBS, because we have nothing else to show you, and we know you're old.
What
CBS, if
was
you
that?
hire me again, I'm so sorry. I will take that back. You know what? That's not going to make the final. Oh shit, it's live. Ugh, yikes. All right. Anyway, CBS, thank you. Paramount Plus, A plus. We love you. All right, let's go to
Love
our
you.
last one, and this one is list. Are you ready for it, sir?
I'm fucking ready.
Let's do it. Your Instagram name is Musafa BJJ. With that in mind, list the top 5 Disney characters of all time.
Okay, well, first of all, it's Mufasa, BJJ. But second of
Oh,
all,
yeah, my
it's
bad. Sorry. Hey, listen. Hold on. Let's do this over again. Hey, listen. I want to point this out. I did misspell it here, but it's a racist joke in itself, so it works, and I'm gonna let it play. But I'm gonna put you back on the clock over here, and I'm gonna reread the statement because you know what? You're 100% right. So couldn't get more racist than that. Shut up, me. Yep. Let's go to that one. Let's take that one off. Let's go back to list. This is you. Hey, your Instagram name is Mufasa BJJ. With that in mind, list the top 5 Disney characters of all time.
Top 5 Disney characters of all time. Okay, I'm gonna base this off of a multiple different tiers. Okay, number one has to be Mufasa. Okay, because he's a real one. All right. Second one has to be Mulan because she's so hot.
Mm.
I can't. She underage. I feel like okay. Let's take
Oh,
that one back.
listen, Drake, get out of here.
All right, all right. No Diddy, no Diddy. I would say Woody, because Woody hated was a player hater on Buzz Lightyear just because he wanted to smash Bo Peep. And then third would have to be Genie, because
Mm-mm.
honestly, because Robin Williams. Like I can't.
Yeah.
That's GOAT. Like you know what I mean? Like not the Will Smith one, but the Robin Williams one. That one of the best characters of all time. Easy.
Absolutely. Uh, how did you feel about the Will Smith one?
Uh, it was I don't know what it was. It was like I felt like he was doing Will Smith and I was like, okay, I
Mm.
see it. That's Will Smith's Genie, but like I feel like he was like Will Smith doing a cosplay sometimes of Robin Williams and I was like, stop doing that. Like just be Will Smith. You're very charming and charismatic. Why are you doing this?
The one thing I thought he added was the haha. Like I was like, oh, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a rap, but it's just the same thing, but just the Will Smith haha.
Yeah.
Vague, getting jiggy with it. Friend like me. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So you said Mufasa's at your number 1. Okay, you did go that route. Do you feel like you messed up anywhere on your list? Do you feel like
Yeah,
you hit
Woody.
it? What's that? You got
I
Woody in there too?
actually did I say Woody? I said Woody's number 2, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
I
mean,
took
but
out
it
Mulan.
didn't have to. Here's the issue: because I'm putting you on the spot, I don't think there's any fair way to make you actually rank them unless I gave you the ranks. So we have 2 different bullet points on this thing, which is we do one called list and rank, and if I ever do a rank, I try to give you uh, the the actual 4 to rank them. But in
Okay.
this one, I wanted it to be open ended, so you did that. But why did you lift yourself as Mufasa BJJ?
I'm sure you think it's like a very beautiful story and where I was like, oh, I'm clearly a lion on these mats. It actually came from very racist backgrounds because when, when I started at 10th Planet, I remember I told Curtis Hemproff, he had told him my name. I was like, oh, my name is Musab. He's like, for sure, for sure. And 30 minutes later, he's like, I think he wants to call me out, but he doesn't know my name. He's looking at me. He goes, all right, this is the brown guy. Okay, brown guy. What's how's brown? Brown Africa. Africa was in Africa. Lions. What's the famous lion? Okay, Mufasa. And then for 3 years, people thought my parents named me after a cartoon lion that was made in 1993. They thought that was my actual name, and I was like, I guess this is what I'm going to rock with from now on. So then here we are.
I mean, I kind of had that in the back of my mind. I did think to myself, I was like, well, maybe he just really identifies with the Lion King. Like that could have been a thing too. So I just didn't want to assume anything. I wanted to actually get that. And then it made me think, I was like, well, let's see how deep that knowledge goes. The list is okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Who'd you take out? Who'd you take out from my list?
Oh, I'm just going to do mine.
Okay, go to yours. Okay, let's
So
go.
once I do mine, I think we'll kind of see where we level out here, because it's kind of weird. I thought about this, and at your core, see, like you play yourself as a jokester, like almost like you're a heel, but you had more good guys than bad guys, which goes, you're kind of a softie. So I think I just uncovered that about you. So with that in mind, keep that going up here. Hey, don't take that off. Don't take that. Listen, you have to stay for mine. I stayed for yours. I just like that you were just like, oh, this is the end of a gamer. You're like, God, no, no, the 12-year-old on the other side of this chat got me. Oh, he talks so much good shit about me. Okay. Let me do mine and we'll compare notes from here, okay? All right. So, starting off here, in the first position, you got to go with Scar. I know that my buddy over here went with Mufasa, and listen, that's what he has to do. I get it. He got nicknamed that. I can't take that away from him. But Scar, listen, those line reads and like the vague judging you, the weight of the Lion King is him. Okay, let's go that way. We got to go Jasmine because, like, listen, Aladdin needed a reason, and he had it. And, like, I get it. I get it. You got to go Ursula because Ursula is all-time GOAT. All-time GOAT for the reason that she didn't even make sense on why she hated people. She just hated people. And I have to tell you, in a feud where we've seen one person hate on another person for no reason, I mean, there's reasons, but like they had no reason, there you have it. And then I think you got to go Stitch. So I think when you go with Stitch, you go from a very cute character that's really, really angry and annoying. And I got one left. And I got to just pick one out of the blue. My man went Andy. I'm actually going to go with... Yeah, I got to do it. I'll do Buzz Lightyear. God damn it. I didn't want to do it. It's just because I ran out of time and I didn't want to like oversell it. But I'm like, if I had more time, I think the real logical answers are from like, I didn't want to do Beast. Because Beast's whole thing of like, yeah, like, I love you, girl. I'm going to trap you here is like, you're Phantom of the Opera. And that's okay, dude.
Yeah.
I thought you would have picked Gaston. I thought that would have been a natural fit for you, but you didn't do that.
I would never.
Why would you not pick Gaston? Gaston has all of your favorite things to do: lift, drink, and then also hang out with the bros and sing.
Fuck. You may be right. All right, check it out. You may be right. Okay. But that is exactly why I refuse. Look, nobody likes their own reflection. Okay, even as much as I stare at myself, I hate my own reflection. I'm like, oh fuck, I could look better. That's why I didn't pick Gaston specifically because my wife keeps like, babe, you like Gaston? I'm like, how dare you compare me to that cuck? I get bitches. What are we talking about?
Wow. I mean, listen, dude, I'm not gonna say you're not there, but I swear to God, there's got to be like I'm missing somebody else, and I didn't know if I got that deep into it. If you could count movies that were like almost direct to video ones, because then you could do like Chip and Dale and some of the Disney afternoon ones. And I was like, yeah, I could kind of almost see that. But honestly, the one I really wanted to put in, and he didn't have a movie, Darkwing Duck. That's my guy. Darkwing Duck is all time. Like, it is the combination of like Disney, superheroes, comedy, Mel Brooks style, like everything that I feel like was introducing me to good humor. So those are mine.
Darkwing Duck is really good choice. Honestly, I wish I could take back my Mulan and say the Hun from Mulan. That dude scared the fucking shit out of me. As a kid, I was like, good fucking God. And technically, Bug's Life isn't Disney, is it? It's Pixar.
So I almost got into that, but we did accept Buzz Lightyear, so we would have accepted Bug's Life.
All right. Well, Flick from Bug's Life was.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I was in that place where I was like, ooh, when I get to Lilo and Stitch, I can get the alien, but man, at what it costs. Like, because I wanted a good supporting character off of that. And I was just thinking all of those Pixars. All right, sir. So here's what we do at the end of these things. I've put you through the ringer. I've given you 6 different topics, only one of which you do. I always like to end the episode by giving the guest the opportunity to give me one, like a hot topic that you think could either trip me up or make me have to have a very, very solid hot take on. So you can put me under the gun here if you like. I'd like to give you the opportunity to do so. So there's a hot topic that you would like to get my opinion on.
Okay. Here's the hot topic that I got for you.
All
Okay.
right.
You are Drake. Okay.
Okay.
You have
Yikes.
to respond. You have to respond to this, all the allegations that happen.
Okay.
Okay. And you have to somehow turn this into a win for yourself. What angle are you taking in order to turn this around to make you look like a good guy?
Okay.
There.
So did you hear the last minute of uh what is it? The Heart part
The hard
6?
part six. Yeah.
Okay. So at the very end of that, Drake's exhausted. Just like, hey, I mean, that that last one wasn't that bad if it wasn't about me. And also, I guess you're welcome for all the success. Like, this dude, people were saying it who don't do jiu-jitsu. Like, when they use that phrase, they're like, oh, he tapped out there. It's like, oh, even the civilians, the commoners are going like, this dude, he's like, dude, you got me, man. To us, it's normal, but to them, it's like, whoa, here's what I think you have to do. I think if you're Drake, what you do is maybe you pick out one of the Metro clappers who were coming after him, and you pick one and you give him 20K. Like, because the award he was going to give was 10K to the best one. So you find a diss that's maybe not the worst, but like in the mid range of like, yo, show you have a good sense of humor. You got to get on SNL fast because you have to embrace your pop center core that Kendrick can't do. Because to civilians, they're like, hey, you know, Drake didn't do that bad. I was like, no, Drake got washed. Your hero was washed. And arguably on a couple of those beats, garbage. Like on the last one for, what was it? Family Matters, the second beat, when people are like, oh, he's coming for it. I was like, I think he's off. Like, this does not work for me. But I understand I'm not the audience here. I think when he tries to have hardcore street cred, it does not work. So thus, make your appearances on SNL. I don't know that you want to go on tour right now. I would say produce more and ghostwrite for some other people because he's not bad as a melody writer. So if he's writing melodies for some other acts, it could get maybe some of those weekend accusations off of him where he just took whatever he wanted. And I think the last part of it is, I think at the Grammys, you see him and Kendrick do a hand raise and hold hands because Kendrick doesn't have to do it. If you're Drake, that's the one thing that signals to you, yeah, I mean, we're good. And my audience, see, we're good. We're not pocketing big. Oh, you guys shot me anyway. Damn. So that's kind of my thing. Because when he started doing that, and he started being like, you guys can thank me for all his great success. I was like, that's crisis PR. I know exactly what I'm hearing. Don't you try and do that bullshit on me. And all of you fans who are like, hey, he didn't respond to this, he didn't respond to that. When you're talking about Kendrick, first of all, most of these things are lies. Second of all, when you're like, let's see who provides receipts and then we'll have who won. No, you don't. These are poems. Poems don't have to be true. They just have to insinuate something that feels true or that makes you think a certain way. And finally, in this particular thing, most of these motherfuckers, when did they become lawyers? Because now they're litigating fucking rap lyrics where they're like, hey, you didn't respond to verse 1, line 2. You know, that means you're losing this war. I was like, Kendrick took all of that by and large and said, here's the big picture. Here's what I want you to take away. And guess what? Hook, line, sinker, you've taken every single one of my baits. And when Drake's like, yeah, I tricked you, I gave you some false information, I was like, how did that benefit you? Yeah. In what way did it benefit you? Why did you not have a rap ready to go? Why were you not ahead of the schedule? And why did this dude clown you 20 minutes after if you were feeding him false information and you're proud of it? And more importantly, crisis PR. So those were the first attempts for him to reclaim it.
Dude, I would hire you as my PR manager. That was really good.
Thank you.
That was like the SNL idea. Oh my God. I didn't even think of that. That's where you go. That's where like all the white girls love SNL. They'll be like, Jake's still my daddy. And they're like,
because
yeah.
You think about it. I think the thought came into me in two ways. One, Dua Lipa just hosted, and she's perfect for that, but she hosted and was a guest. Drake has done both. And if you've hosted and been a guest, you're part of a very small group of people. There's only like 30 people who have ever done that. So he could make that call to Lauren, host in a heartbeat, you could have one of their cast members play Kendrick and do that there, where Kendrick
Mm.
looks like a small dude. You could even have one of the women play him. Like, you could do stuff like that where you're a little more in charge of it. And even if they're like doing that thing where the host meets the impression of them, they tend to be light jokes that don't kill them. So they like lightly roast them. And I think that light roast is right the speed of where you want to be. Because if that dude shows up in Inglewood, there's going to be a lot of boos. The fact that right now at Dodger Stadium, they are playing that as people walk up is telling me, like, dude, if Meet the Grams was the burial, Not Like Us is the dancing on your grave.
Dude, they're playing that in the clubs in LA like hardcore. And I'm like, this is you have people going certified lover boy, certified pedophile in the
Yeah, it's
club.
just, it's just,
I'm like,
it's
good.
just, you think about that fact that, you spent the last portion of, well, where we're at currently, but the last portion of your response that took you 2 days, and that your team like dragged you up and was like, you write this. And he's like, dude, I don't know, man. What am I supposed to, like, dude, he beat me. And they're like, nah, man, come back. You could do this. And he's like, okay. Um, First things first, you won't find Drake on a sex offender list. Yeah, you'd find Aubrey on there. I know. I don't have it, guys. I'm trying so hard. It's not coming. I made one of those S's. You know, when you draw the S, like from the net, that's all I wrote. I don't have anything, guys. Don't make me do this. It was just, I've got beat. And they're like, Drake, come on, man. You can do this. He's like, all defense, 6 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, all defense, bro. That's Kendrick was just like, he's like, and fuck your mama, and fuck your son, and fuck your daughter, and fuck your dad, and fuck. And Drake's like, well, my mom's pretty cool, actually. He's like,
When he's like,
and you kids are pedophiles.
when he said, he's like, yo, I texted my mom, you took away my N-word pass. How dare you? You can't do that to me. I'm Drake. I'm half. And it's just like, bro, even the guys who love you are like, hey, man, I get that you're saying maybe he can't take away that from you, but I will say that is the whitest thing you could do is text your mom and tell her about it. Like she's gonna do something, or that you want to tell her, like, hey, the kids at school were unfair to me. Like, ooh, it's really gonna win you the rap battle there. So yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I feel bad in one way for my followers because that's all I've put up. But it has been a blessed time on the timeline because everybody's made me laugh. And as a joke writer, I've been like, oh, that made me laugh. You should know this. This one might not be for you, but man, it made me laugh. And
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say. So Drake and Kendrick both did it, but I felt like Drake's was a little more disrespectful. Drake brought up Michael Jackson. Now, the weird part about him bringing up Michael Jackson, aside from many things, is that he's sort of tied Michael's success, and they're two different eras. So when he's been like, "Yo, me and Mike," and you go, "Don't do that. You're don't do that, dude. You're in a different lane. It's a streaming era. That's fine." And then on this, to exemplify the difference between him and Kendrick, he's like, "Yeah, Mike wanted to be white. That's why he did all those things." And you go, "No, don't do that to Kendrick. He's gonna kill you, man. He's gonna kill you." And when they did that beat, that mustard beat,
Oh,
with
dude.
with Smooth Criminal, and with Remember the Time, and what's the other one? Ghosts, and all of the choreography synced up perfectly, and you go, dude, whoever put that together, and I've seen this dude put together stuff, I was like, ooh, this was a shot. But that's the beauty of that whole scheme.
Yeah.
Kendrick made it so that the culture would take care of Drake and he wouldn't have to do as much. And so now you get all these different content creators. Metro did it too, where he's like, here's a beat his ass, deuce. Kendrick was just like, I'm going to open this up, and now the rest of you guys are going to do the jokes for me. So I think the real part of that the Heart Part 6 was Drake responding to Twitter more than Kendrick.
Dude, apparently people said that like all those things that he said in his rap in Heart Part 6 were stuff that they saw on Twitter that he should use as defense, and they were like, "This is like verbatim." And I'm like, brother, the brother is on the goddamn track to be like, "You call me a pedophile? Nuh-uh, I ain't no. I would never. I don't even think Millie Bobby Brown's that hot." It's like, excuse me, you said who?
Who are we talking
What?
about here, sir? Sir, who were we talking about here? And why did you bring
Sir,
that up?
put the phone down. Put the fucking phone down,
And then
please.
the worst part is, I have to tell you this: the indulgence that I've had in this has been so high that even when there was shots at Drake's Manor in Canada, it's like that's a really serious thing. People shouldn't be doing that. And then I saw somebody on Twitter go, "Nah, that sounds like some Canada on Canada crime. Don't try and involve Compton on that." I go, "Oh fuck, even that joke's funny. Like, don't do that to me, man. I'm trying to like say like keep it at a rap beef. A lot of us have lived through Biggie and Pac. It was not fun when they both died. Nobody wants anybody to die here. However, in a rap battle, there is no like safety. There is no,
Yeah.
hey everybody, we're cool. Hey, oh, don't do that. Timeouts. There's none of that. You just kind of are in a world of, yeah, you called him a pedophile. That's something he's
He
gonna
called
have
him
to
a
live with.
pedophile on beat. On beat, he did. He's like, "You're a pedophile on," and then
Oh,
the fucking thing is banging
oh,
too. He's like,
don't
"Damn."
forget that. He said, y'all can dance to this one. And I thought the more aggravating part to me was, so for years people were like, yo, whatever, Drake, Kendrick can't do what Drake does. And I was like, I think Kendrick just showed us he could have done it at any time. He just wasn't interested in being that guy, because
Mhm.
that song came with a chant that felt a little too melodic, to the point where you're basically saying to Drake, oh, I can do this too. And now when people dance, they're going to create a dance that's going to include you being capped. And I thought, dude, once you start talking about a dude's label with a chant that people are going to dance to for years, I think you lost, man. So when people are like, hey, Drake might come back, I was like, these are the people who are still waiting on their dads to come back from milk, right? Like, that's what's happening here.
He's right around the corner. I swear to God, he is.
It's just
It's right
like,
around.
sorry, brothers. So I can't see that for you. So anyway, well, let's say this, my friend. We've gone through all the topics. You threw one at me. You've been a great sport about a number of things. And what I'd like to do right now, I'd like to put the camera on you, and I want to have you plug anything you'd like. So anything you got coming up, or anything you'd like to give a shout out to, the host will go ahead and put the guest front and center, and it is all on you, brother.
Yeah, just the only thing I want to shout out is I'm gonna be competing soon. This weekend in Austin, but also um, trying to get a match at EBI Official, the Absolutes. So let Eddie Bravo know, because I put on a show last weekend. Um, Follow my Instagram, mufasa.bjj. I do some funny shit sometimes and post some hilarious highlight videos. And yeah, man, I mean that's about it. I'm just a dude with a small penis and just out here doing things. That's really all I got to shout out.
Hold on. I want to just point this out. At no point ever in doing shows, like I've done a lot of different shows in the past 10 years, 10, 12, actually, somewhere in there. I have never said, hey, guest, shout out something. And you go, you know what? I'd like to shout out my dick. And then they do it at their own faulty expense when I go, nobody did that to you, sir. So I just want to say you definitely broke new ground here as a guest. But okay. Well, here's the good news. You did well on the board. Nothing scared you. You didn't run away from it. You almost ran off with your headset, and that's just because I'm too good at what I do. But I understand that. And I just want to tell you, good work here. I'm sure we'll pull you back on the show in the future, but very good work here with the board. And it was a pleasure to get to meet you for the first time, sir.
It was great, man. I appreciate it, Raf. Thanks so much, brother.
Beautiful. I will talk to you off air in just a second. I'm going to close this bitch out, but thank you so much, sir. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for us here. A couple quick reminders. First and foremost, like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't know what you wanted to comment on right now, how would you fix Drake's woes? I'd be welcome to hear if you have better thoughts than I did. I mean, I thought those were pretty clean, but I got to tell you, the creativity that I've seen on Twitter has opened my mind back up again. It has been, listen, Twitter has been a wasteland for a while. This actually brought me back for a little bit. This weekend was glorious. Like, I've never enjoyed laughing at someone's expense as much as I did this past 48, 72 hours, because the creativity of the Twitter was so good. So in the comment section, tell us how you would fix Drake's current woes. Number 2, I just told you to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys can also become members of our Grappling Hour Patreon. $5 a month will get you access to my interviews 30 days before anybody else. For a few extra dollars more, you can see people roast my competition footage. You can see extra bonus content that's not available anywhere else. And big thing, you can also check out little things that we're going to be doing for ADCC. We're going to do some ADCC profiles on specific games and how people got to the big dance here coming up. You can also join our Discord. That's at Grappling Hour. Like and subscribe to us on Apple and on Spotify. And ladies and gents, that's going to do it for us here at the show. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow we'll be back with the bullpen at around 2:30, somewhere around this time or so. You'll see us on air. So be back here tomorrow. We'll see you guys. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.